Congressman Doug Collins from the House Judiciary Committee got a lot of our notice during impeachment, especially. You did a great job, Congressman. Welcome back to Newsmax. How are you?
Great. It's good to see you tonight.
Listen, the Nobel Peace Prize nomination, again, poo-pooed last week, but the more I hear about this agreement, familiarize myself with it, what the president did personally to make it happen, he is, from my perspective and vantage point, totally worthy of this honor. Any chance that it's going to happen in real life?
I would hope so. If not, to me, the Nobel Peace Prize loses its luster, because if you give the Nobel Peace Prize to President Obama for doing absolutely nothing except get elected president, and you have this president who has actually put together one of the most historic deals that we've seen in the Middle East, there's just no reason that he wouldn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. But it goes to the fact that when you're on top like the president is, when you do things, when you say you're going to do things and you keep your promises, those who like to sit on the sides and criticize will be criticizing. And they will just simply do that because they have no desire what it's like to be a leader. This president is a leader. This president has led the world, and now he's showing it even as we come into this next election cycle. So he should get the Nobel Peace Prize for actually doing something instead of just getting elected president.
And Congressman, talk about doing something. You had boots, your own boots on the ground. I didn't realize this until recently. You're an Air Force chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel, I believe. How much time did you spend in Iraq in theater? What was that like?
Oh, it was a major life change. I'm spent over 5.5 months there back in the Iraq War during 2008. It's just after the surge, so we were still in a lot of things going on. And to have this come up with this president, who I've gotten to know and who I've watched him, especially have our backs as military members. I'm still in the military. I still do reserve duty. And to know that he has my back, to know that he is someone who puts our military first, but yet also knows the value of peace and finding peaceful solutions. Look, the ones who's worried tonight is Iran. The one who is worried tonight is after he's already taken them to the mat, he's already told them what he's going to do, and now they see him actually putting these kind of deals together. Iran is the one that should be worried. As someone who served in Iraq, I couldn't be more happy with this president because I know he has my back.
And tell us a little bit more about that, if you can. Iran, what we have here are Arab states or Sunni Arab states in not necessarily alliance, but a modicum of friendship with Israel. That puts Iran on notice, doesn't it?
It really does, because, again, remember, Iran is even a rogue state among the Arab countries in which it is. And to have them now put in check by a president who actually does what he says he's going to do and doesn't, bend and back over to the Iranian mullahs, this is something that should put them on a notice, because when you have the rest of the world now having the ability to make this agreement with Israel, to make these kind of long-term commitments to Israel, and know that the American force, the full force of the presidency is behind that. Iran now is left on an island by itself. In Iran, they need to begin the process of coming into the culture of the world, and if they want to act like they're part of the world, then they need to start behaving like that. And terrorism has to stop. The attacks on Israel have to stop. And Iran needs to recognize that Israel has a right to exist, and by these agreements, they can see that even their Arab nations agree with this president who has stood strong.
When you talk to your Democratic colleagues, I am curious, what is your take on their level of fear or optimism? I am convinced that President Trump will be reelected. When you talk to them, when you look them in the eye, are they nervous? Are they sensing this thing slipping away? Tell us what you can about the mood down there.
I think it is slipping away from them. I mean, they're concerned. They have a candidate who seems to be more concerned with finding a bathroom in a basement than actually getting out and talking to American voters. I mean, this president goes and answers questions. He actually takes on interviews. He goes and talks to American people. He does rallies. And I think the American people are seeing a president who is leading, and these pictures today from the White House just show that. And the Democratic colleagues are looking at it and saying, oh, goodness, we've got Joe. And Joe's hiding in the basement. Joe can't handle it. I've got a great one right now. Joe Rogan, one of the podcasters, said he'll do an interview. The first person to say yes was Donald Trump. We're still hearing crickets from Joe Biden. Joe Biden wants nothing of this president. He is simply relying on the mainstream media to do his work for him, and I think they're going to get a surprise. There was tears in Brooklyn. There's going to be crying in the basement in Delaware come November.
I think you're right. And by the way, I am going to be very surprised if there actually is a debate. We know the president is ready. He's been testing himself, going on these shows with Chris Wallace and the Axios guy and taking questions every single day. That's what you got to do. And I'm hearing that Joe Biden is doing zero debate prep, zero. And the debate is 2 weeks from tonight. Do you think he's going to go through with it?
I would hope he will, because it'll be a sight to see. But I mean, look, if they can find a way out and think that they can win it. The Democratic Party has never been about ideas. It's about scaring the American people. Nancy Pelosi holding the House hostage, Chuck Schumer holding the Senate and paralyzed. This is about fear. They want to fear the American people, and this president doesn't see a sunset. He sees a sunrise, and they don't want any part of that.
Congressman Collins, hey, I'm sorry to poke around your house like this. I really don't like doing that. But on your bookshelf there, I see a plane. It looks like it might be an F-5, but I'm not sure. It's something I guess you got to ride in. Can you tell us what that is over your right shoulder?
Yeah, that's one of our trainers down at Moody Air Force Base when I served down there. I'm back now at Robins Air Force. That was one of our trainers before I left there.
Oh, it's a T-38, I believe. That's a
T-38, yeah.
Yeah, that is a sleek, cool plane. Not bad for the Air Force.
It is great.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Collins.
Air Force good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Not as good as the Marine Corps. Just kidding. Just kidding. Not really, but okay. We're even. Congressman Collins, see you next time.